Hey you guys, Steve Whipple, that's me for WHIPFIT. Aloha from Hawaii. How are you all doing? I am here to bring you two very distinct teachable scenarios that happened this week to me, okay? One, I am taught something, and the other, I don't know if I taught anything, but I weighed in on something, we'll say it that way, right? So, there are tons of times that teachable moments can happen, but they're only teachable if someone's willing to listen and learn. So, it takes a pause to be willing to listen and be taught something. And I'm always willing. I'm willing to self-correct. I'm always willing to be corrected. I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong. I'm willing to say I'm sorry. Because when that happens, it means I have truly learned something, and I will admit that. So, long story short, I'll make it as short as I can. I work at a restaurant. I'm a server. My OCD loves it. It funnels right in on everything I need to be a good server. And I've been deciding what bussers work hard and get paid a certain amount, and what bussers not only may not work hard, but actually make my job harder and paying them less. And throughout a conversation, not directly about this, but about something else, I was expressing how I feel very justified in that. And my manager said, this is the teachable moment, if that person knows that you are paying them less than someone else, what is their incentive to work harder? There is none, right? And a light bulb went off in my head, and I was like, oh my God, of course I'm wrong. For the type of person I want to be, of course I have to pay them all the same. I have to create a base level where at least everyone gets the same amount of literally money, but also respect and kindness. Like, the base level is here. If someone goes above and beyond that, great. I can choose to compensate them or interact with them in a way that lets them know they've gone above and beyond, but everyone should at least have the same baseline. And I was wrong. And I put it into action by that one person, that one busser that was driving me the most crazy. I tipped them out a little bit more than I usually do, and the response was immediate. He thought I was tipping him out too much, and when I said I wasn't, he was grateful, and it changed. It changed just a little bit, but it did. Big changes happen with small little steps. Every now and then you can take a big step to do a big change, and that's great. But a lot of times the change that you want to happen starts really small. And I was wrong. I don't get to decide when I want to apply how good of a person I want to be. I don't get to decide who is the recipient of it or who benefits from it. It should be a constant, and then I build on it if I feel like it. But that's why there's minimum wage, because if we all got to decide someone's worth, holy cow, it would be so all over the place and biased. So that was my teachable moment, and I was very happy to have had it. So that's the first one. The second one comes in the form of me standing in line at the grocery store, this white woman in front of me, and her being white is crucial to the story. She is haole. We are all haole here in Hawaii who are white. And however you want to spin the story, the long and short of it is, white people came here, took Hawaii, imprisoned the queen in her own palace, and said Hawaii is now ours. So there's a lot of people here in Hawaii that are happy to have Hawaii be part of the United States, but then there's a very large population that wants Hawaii to have sovereignty and wants nothing to do with the United States. As long as you don't act like a dickhead, you're fine. I've never experienced anything other but aloha here. But this white woman talking to the Hawaiian cashier had to be schooled a little. I don't think she was teachable, but we'll see. She was standing in line, and the woman at the cashier, the Hawaiian cashier woman who I've talked to many times, who I love, she's adorable, she's fun. She said to the woman, oh, you're all done with work. And the woman was like, yeah, but I really enjoy my job. Okay, nothing, not really listening, on my phone, no big deal here. And the woman was like, oh, that's good, what do you do? And the woman was like, I'm a counselor. And the woman was like, I so appreciate my kids when I go to work. The staff is really great and the kids are really great, because unlike the Hawaiian kids, these kids are really, really great. And still kind of like, okay, I think I just heard that. And the cashier was like, oh, okay. And kind of just trying to get through the interaction. The woman was like, yeah, the Hawaiian children are really lazy, they're ungrateful, they're not motivated, and these kids from the other islands like the Philippines and Samoa, they are really grateful, they really want to learn, and they really appreciate it. And the cashier's like, they're all islands just separated by water. And the woman's like, oh yeah, blah blah, and she said something else, I don't remember. But as she was bagging up her stuff, the last thing she kind of was saying was basically, she was restating how Hawaiian children are lazy and ungrateful. And I, standing there, had to say something. And what I said was, that's a really awful thing to say. And she was like, oh, well, I was like, whatever she said. I was like, I'm pretty sure the Hawaiian children are doing the best that they can as well. And the woman was like, well, I've worked with Hawaiian children and I've worked with children from other islands, so I should know. And I said, clearly, not enough. And then the woman walked away. I said, have a nice day. She kind of snarkily said, have a nice day back to me. And then the cashier said, oh my gosh, I'm so happy you're here. And she grabbed my hand and she was like, I thought I was hearing that wrong. I was like, no, you weren't. You were not hearing that wrong. This woman had decided that the worth of all of Hawaiian's children was what she decided it was. And you don't get to do that. I don't get to do that. Other people don't get to do that. And that's why it is so important in this day and age where if you see something or hear something that is morally wrong, you've just got to say something. I'm that guy. I'm happy to point out when someone has done something so wrong, and it might not even change the outcome. It might not even change their way of living or perspective. It probably won't. But in that moment, I want that person to know someone else saw them at their worst, saying or doing something so bad that someone said, I see you. And maybe they had to look at themselves for an extra few seconds in the mirror and think, I don't know. Who knows? That's me being idealistic about how change happens. But in this current situation where, we have more social media than ever, and, you would think all that would do is unify and expose us to different things and create more understanding and conversation, and it does. Of course it does. But also, at the very same time when all that's happening, there are also more platforms for diversiveness, for hate, for deciding you don't like something and, building that up to be fact, to be cultivated. And hate is never good. If you've been hated, and I have because I'm a gay white man, if you've been hated, you know what that's like. If you've hated other people, you know what that's like. And I don't see that there's ever anything good that comes out of hate. But there's more of it than ever at the same time when all the hashtags want to tell you to be a better person. So it's an interesting juxtaposition that we live in right now. I just know that we all grow up living our lives for us, right? It's normal. When you become old enough to think about yourself, you start thinking, oh my gosh, will people like me in school? Do I have the right clothes? And then you go to college and you're like, oh my gosh, am I cool? Or am I driving the right car? Will I get a good job? Do I have enough money to support myself? What if I want to start a family? Where are we going to live? Like, it's very me driven for a long time, and some people probably forever. But I'm at a place now, and I feel like I'm just starting to come into this, so this is going to be an ongoing evolution, I hope, of where I'm like, I'm fine. I have enough, I'm taken care of, I'm okay. How can I be of use to the world? How can I be of service? How can I offer me almost like, not as a vessel, that sounds so cheesy, but like as a vessel for the world to like work through me and do good stuff. Like, I want to do good. And you have to learn some lessons in order to do stuff differently. Like, if you've been very self-driven or self-centered, and I have, absolutely in my life I've been self-centered, to undo that you need teachable moments where you are humbled into seeing that what you were thinking or doing or saying was wrong. And I'm very happy to have had those moments recently. So that's where I'm at. It is more important than ever to just speak your truth, especially if your truth is on the side of combating hate. Um, yeah. And I'm still trying to work through some of this in my mind, because I don't know how I'm going to exactly do all those things that I'm wanting to do, but I do know that I'm starting to feel that I want to do them, and that's great. And I may not always execute it correctly, and I may screw up because ego comes into play too and says, well, why do you want to take care of the world? Just get yours, worry about you. But I'm now at a place where I'm like, how can I be of use? How can I be of service to the world? And I want to start working on that. So um, I just wanted to share that. I wanted to share that because if we all tell stories like that, um, that's the type of sharing I like. That's the type of sharing that brings me joy, is the sharing of how to better yourself, the people around you, the world. Because little by little, we will lift this world back up to the level it should be. Um, and we'll only do that with kindness and love. And being nice to each other. Oh my God, just so simple. Just being nice to each other. And stop saying stupid shit about how you're better than somebody else. She ain't better. I'm not. So, all right. Aloha. Aloha. Do it. No, really, do it.